now we have the original track. This is what we're going to do to build the next spot. Now we're going to add some stuff. I actually happen to have in this studio an entire choir of help here. What we're going to do is I'm going to turn the keyboard back down so it's not running anymore through my system. And I am going to take my associate help. They're going to come over here. Just happens to be Becky, and she's now got the microphone.
The song that everybody knows.
The song that everyone knows. What I'm going to do now, let's go back here, and what we're going to do is, by putting this back to the beginning of the song, remember this is our beginning of the song button, what we're going to do is we're going to listen to what had been recorded before, and we are now going to sing along with it. Now, in order to do that, we have to set up in our preferences. Remember we did the preferences earlier for playing? I'm going to show you one more spot that we have to get at for playing along. We go back down to preferences, and under preferences, the same page that we had worked before, there are two buttons here. One says play other tracks while recording new one, and the other one is software playthrough. We're not going to deal with the software playthrough. What we're going to deal with is the play other tracks while recording new one. By clicking on that, what that means is that the computer will play what we've already recorded, and we can sing, play, do whatever. We can dance, but it won't record as well. But we can now take and play this, and while we're playing it, we can record a new track. Are you ready to do this, Becky?
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to sing it with the lyrics that everyone knows. Are you ready? This is so much fun, isn't it? Okay. First thing we do is we start the recording, we listen, and then we sing along. Are you all ready to sing? Heart and soul, la 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 la, heart and soul, la 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 la, la la, la 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 la, da dum, da dum, da dum. Okay.
Anyway, you get the idea. You can pick a song that the kids want to sing, teach them the steps, and you can add vocal parts, you can add percussion parts, you can even go back and add another keyboard part. Play it as an ensemble in the room.
Okay, we have recorded two things now. We recorded the keyboard direct from a sequence, and then we added some beautiful vocals. And when we recorded the vocals, notice that when we went to record, it created a second line. Every time you record, another track shows up. Okay? And when you start the song, you have to remember that you start from the beginning or where you want to start. Now, when we play this, I'm going to play this back, and you'll notice.
Just listen carefully.
We're hearing this first track, and then when the vocals come in, you'll be able to see it here, coming up. Heart and soul, la 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 la, heart and soul. All right, we now have two tracks. We can do this as many tracks as you want to add until your computer starts to cough and gag. I've done it on this computer, just playing around. I've had over 24 tracks without any problem at all running on this particular computer. Older computers may be more limited. But just to give us an example of what we can do, I'm going to add one more part. And this will be an acoustic instrument. One of these great instruments that everyone loves to hear. I'm going to add the tambourine. Okay? First thing I have to do. Now, tambourines sometimes are hard to record because they're so bright. So I'm going to make sure I've got my levels. Pressing my button here. All right. Here we go.
Thought it did too.
Press the record button.
Thought it did too. Just listen carefully.
Soul, la 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 la, heart and soul, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Okay, we have now added an acoustic instrument to this process. We have a MIDI sequence, we have beautiful vocals, and we now have a wonderful percussion part that, when put together, creates this beautiful masterpiece. Obviously, I'm being very facetious here. I'm going to just start in the middle so we can hear.
La 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 la, heart and soul.
Now, we have all these parts that are together, and you're going, oh, but the vocals are way too loud for this. That's where these areas of the tracks come in. You can now adjust the levels between the main instruments, the vocals, and the percussion by controlling these faders over here. Okay? The only thing we have to be aware of is that when you add them all together, they keep adding volume. That's what this meter is for here. If this starts going way into the red, then you've got to start turning things down. Sometimes if you can't hear something, it's not because something's not not loud enough. It may be because something else is too loud. And in order to make for instance, to have a vocal or something come out, rather than turning the vocal up, you may need to turn something else down. Okay? We now have
La 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 la, heart and soul.
and again, we can adjust.
La la la. La 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 la.
We can adjust each individual line. Now, there are all sorts of things that we can do to make this more interesting. We can add reverb, and we can do all those things. These are things that happen within our effects. And it's a little bit beyond what we're doing here, but you can experiment with them, and remember, everything that you do can be undone. That's what the undo button is for.